parents would kill me.
If any time you posted a flyer, you had to consider the risk of having a 7-hour hearing, nobody would post flyers.
They had tried on a number of different occasions to essentially shut down the college Republicans.
Right, exactly, and they'd done it as a group, and they'd always been unsuccessful. And I think now they saw this as an opportunity to get at one of the members.
I personally think that part of the motivation for going after Steve is, well, if we can't get the club as an institution, we can discourage people from participating in it.
This is a perfect example of how hypocritical it is to want diversity but not diversity of ideas.
Were they opposed to Steve's being a white conservative, or were they opposed to Mason Weaver being a black conservative?
All of the above.
This happens on every college campus. This happens to a lot of students.
There is something very worrisome about a university that would teach students that in a situation where someone's posting a flyer they disagree with, to call the cops.
Yeah, they like calling the cops out there at Cal Poly. Let's just say I found out the hard way. Hello. I'm looking for some university official to comment on the Stephen Hinkle case.
That would be public affairs you need to go to.
Thanks a lot. Hi, how are you? My name's Evan Maloney. I'm working on a documentary film, and I've been trying for a number of months to get administrators from Cal Poly to speak on the Stephen Hinkle case. And to date, nobody's returned my phone calls or emails. I'm trying to find someone who's willing to comment on the case. All of the people who are involved in the case don't seem willing to talk. I guess I could meet you in the front lobby. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care. Yes, hi, Evan Maloney.
Can I talk to you?
Yes,
Hi.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm Teresa Hendricks.
Hi,
I'm from
Teresa.
Public Affairs. Here's the statement.
Could you read it for us?
No, I gotta give it to you.
You can't read the statement?
No, but that's the
Can I?
statement that we're giving everybody.
There's no apology here for Mr. Hinkle.
That's the statement, and you're welcome to film anywhere on campus. So, good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Cal Poly never did apologize to Stephen Hinkle, and they still refuse to admit they did anything wrong. But in my experience, people usually don't shell out $40,000 for no reason at all. And if they stand by what they did, why wouldn't anyone talk on camera? I couldn't even get them to read their own statement. Well, the nice PR lady did say I could film anywhere on campus. Maybe Cal Poly's president would have the courage to explain the school's actions. I was wondering if we might be able to speak with the university president.
Hi. Would you please put that down? Put it down now. Come on.
So I take it we can't speak with the university president?
Who are you?
My name's Evan Maloney. Nice to meet you.
From which organization?
I'm an independent filmmaker.
Well, good for you.
Do you have anything to say to the taxpayers of California for the $40,000 that was spent in the Hinkle case?
Please come with me.
There's nothing that you want to say to the taxpayers of California as to why you spent $40,000 to persecute one of your students politically?
I'd be pleased to make available...
All you need to do is make a comment. This was wrong. Can you at least say this was wrong?
Make available a comment from an officer of the university, but I am not prepared to comment myself. Michelle, would you please call the public safety office? You do not have an appointment to see...
But I couldn't get an appointment.
You don't have an appointment to see the president?
No one would respond to my requests.
Well, I understand your frustration, and I'd be happy to put you in touch with an appropriate university official. The president is not available to speak with you now.
Well, he was just in there, it looks like, just kind of sitting around.
The president is not available to speak with you at this time. Certainly welcome to go and speak to our Director of Public Affairs, Leah Colt. I'll be glad to respond to your questions.
Okay, so I have your word that they'll speak with me today?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This has not been a civil visit, and I appreciate it.
I think it's been civil.
And you're welcome to go.
Why do you think it hasn't been civil?
Because you came up here and demanded an audience with the president of the university.
I was wondering if we might be able to speak with the university president. If no one will return my emails, if no one will respond to my phone calls, what other recourse do I have than to show up?
I've directed you to the Public Affairs Office.
Well, you say this isn't civil. I think this is remarkably civil. I'm not...
Well, then I'll shake your hand. If you believe it's civil, then let's part the company on civil terms. And you're welcome to go to the Public Affairs Office.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
That guy was pretty funny. He was like a character in a movie.
Hi.
I guess now he is a character in a movie.
Well, good for you.
Of course, I forgot he told his assistant to call the police,
Please call the Public Safety Office.
and they soon surprised our cameraman from behind. We never did make it down to the Public Affairs Office.
You need to leave or you're going to go to jail. Okay?
All right.
So you need to grab your stuff. Let's go. Get in your
Okay.
cars. You need to roll. I can't comment on anything.
We're traveling to a number of different schools where students have been harassed because of their political views, and so this was one of the schools, obviously, that was on the list. If they don't want to respond to phone calls or email, I don't know what else I can do other than show up in person.
I'm non-biased in this case, brother, but we got to do what we got to do. Here's what's going to happen. You guys need to go off campus and stay off campus, because if you come back, you're going to subject yourself to being arrested. Okay, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, it's good meeting you guys, but I hope I don't see you again.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing personal.
All right.
Take care.
Well, the good thing about getting kicked off campus is I got the rest of the day off. And I guess Steve was celebrating too. It was that very morning when his victory over Cal Poly was announced. But for Greg Lukianoff at Fire, it's all in a day's work.
Students are being told that they have fewer rights than they do, and that when they engage in clearly protected speech, very standard tame speech, they're being punished. And that is not acceptable in a free society. We've been involved in literally hundreds of cases. We've helped thousands upon thousands of students. We've made a lot of converts in our short existence. There are certainly people who at one point said, no, there's no free speech problem on campus, who have either stopped saying that or have completely come over to the other side.
Many of Fire's cases involve speech codes, obscure rules used by university administrators to punish students who express unpopular opinions.
A speech code is a rule or regulation at a university that violates a substantial amount of protected speech, or what would be protected speech, in the larger society. Speech codes are a complete scandal.
Fire recently studied nearly 200 schools and found that 89% of them have speech codes. Brown University outlaws statements that make people feel impotent, angry, or disenfranchised. Colby College prohibits anything that could lead to a loss of self-esteem. The University of Connecticut banned inappropriate laughter. And West Virginia University warns incoming freshmen not to use terms like boyfriend and girlfriend. The school says those are too gender-specific. Terms like lover and partner are encouraged.
We've seen an awful lot of them where Christian students have been ruthlessly mocked, where conservative students obviously have been too, and nobody's crying hate speech in those situations. I'm politically liberal. That like a lot of the people who work with Fire we get criticism from people who don't know Fire very well, saying, "Oh, you obviously have a conservative bias. So many of your cases are conservative." A pro-affirmative action rally at Berkeley it is not going to be shut down. The kind of speech that gets censored or punished on campus, the kind of speech that Fire defends in the larger society, no even liberal Democrat would think that could be punished. And it's really unfortunate and really kind of bizarre that there are people out there who call themselves liberals, who believe in crushing speech that they don't like.
But it happens all the time on American campuses. It happened recently at Bucknell.
Anything which is intimidating, which is going to poison the campus environment, can't be allowed.
You can't annoy someone.
It's essentially up to them. It can be enforced selectively, and it is enforced selectively, I would say, on a partisan basis.
You want to encourage free speech, but if one person's free speech intimidates somebody else and keeps them from speaking, then it's a different issue. Campuses have gone further to try and foster a better climate.
How is harassment defined here at Bucknell?
If you're offended by it, that's implicitly considered harassment.
You never know what's going to be offensive.
100 years ago, it was offensive to say blacks were the same as whites. Does that mean we shouldn't have been able to say it? Of course not.
I mean, we're all sort of paranoid to a certain degree about what we say in certain forums.
People hesitate, and you wonder about what you've said. You wonder if there's going to be repercussions.